Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Aries, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Devil card. Aries, Aries, Aries. I'm going to say this, and I mean it with all of the best love and intention. And I can say this because recently I've had this card come up for myself quite a lot. Where is it that you really need to get honest with yourself? Where is it that you really need to... one way that this could show up this week could really highlight to you how bad your self-talk is. How hard a time you actually give yourself, how much you berate yourself, what your stuck thought patterns are, what the negative thoughts that are on loops or cycles in your mind are. This is a week for you to get really honest about what you are addicted to, what you are tied to, that you are consciously kind of telling yourself, I can't do anything about this. Where are you giving your power away? You are Aries, right? And all right, fair enough. Mars is in the sign of Cancer. I know that's been a ball ache because it is for me. It's currently, you know, moving through my 12th house, and trust me, I'm feeling that. But that doesn't give us a free pass to just say, oh, you know, like, oh, it's so, like, all right, it's hard. Yes, absolutely. But you have the strength to push on. Remember, the energy of the Devil card only shows up to highlight to you what is truly out of balance and what is now just holding you back. The acknowledgement and the movement from that really does lie with you. All right, it's time to do something about it. For your actions and options this week, you have the Hermit card. If I'm not mistaken, I think this was your key to the week last week, which I find really interesting. So the first thing that I want to say to you is this week, take time, right? Take time to pull yourself out of the melee. Take time for yourself. Take time to put yourself in a different perspective, in a different space. If this, you know, if it means going for an all-day hike to have that talk with yourself and the universe, do it. If it means sitting and meditating, if it means, you know, going and doing something that's physically exhausting, you are an Aries after all, right, then do it. But take time, carve time out for yourself this week so that you can get back to your own personal inner understandings and roots. Take time to really reconnect to yourself and ultimately decide, is the path that I'm on now really taking me to where I want it to? Another thing is, right, you know, they say that loneliness or being alone can be addictive. Maybe it's that. Maybe that's the message that you're getting this week as well. Maybe you've spent too much time alone and now it's time to get back to the world. Maybe now it's time for you to come back into alignment with people, because ultimately, and I think the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with, you know, go with people. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact quote, but it's a really good one and it makes a lot of sense for this combination of cards here. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Six of Cups. So this is an interesting set, right? Especially because the Six of Cups falls right underneath the Devil card. The Devil card is number 15, 1 and 5 gives you 6. So effectively you have the double 6 energy here. Now there's two ways that this can show up for you. And if you want to get really interesting and kind of like woo with it, the Hermit card is number 9, which is basically just a 6 upside down. All that aside though, your past, some old wound, some old hurt could really be highlighted to you this week. Now remember, you've got Chiron moving through your sign at this moment in time, and will have for a while yet, which is really, in a lot of ways, it's highlighting to you what it has cost you to be yourself. This week, through a conversation with a sibling, through a conversation with a friend, somebody that you care about, maybe somebody that you haven't seen for a long time, calls you out on something, and it's possible with this combination, somebody that you love and care about this week might really dig you out, and you might at first be like, who the, like what? But The reason it stings so much, it looks like, is because they hit a nerve with you. And if you are honest with yourself about what this person is saying to you, you will understand that actually, yes, the reason this stings so much is because you're right. It's going to take that external prompt for you to really look within this week. Try not to attack the messenger, all right? But there is a reprieve of sorts because it is the Six of Cups. So while there are sort of old wounds opening up, there are also going to be some really amazing and possibly very happy memories that will come out of it too. So for those of you that are working for somebody else, some old responsibility or old hang up or drawback looks like it's coming up in the workplace this week. So for some of you, it looks like you might literally be going back to work, like actually going back in person, in physicality. You know, not everybody, because obviously we know, you know, depending on where you are in the world, but some of you, it does look like a return to work. For some of you, this could be a challenging situation that had already come up in the workplace is now coming back. I believe that this is kind of the final pass for it though, so just be aware of that. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this could be an old project that comes back online, but it looks like this is something that you previously kind of got obsessed with, you know, and then it's like you walked away from it because you were like, okay, this is driving me mad. If you don't want to repeat that same pattern, this would be a really good week to find somebody that can assist you. Don't go it alone, all right? That message has already come up this week in the cards anyway, so, you know, take heed of that. For those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, this week you might be a little bit more reflective and you might be asking yourself, how can I get back to, you know, the shape of when I was in my 20s? How can I get back to that time in my life when things were really good and I just felt a lot happier? There's a need to return to something from the past this week for those of you that are retired or no longer working. And, you know, it could have something to do with children, with grandchildren, possibly even with siblings as well. For your money and materials, you've got the Eight of Wands. So there could be some good news for finances and money this week. And for some of you, it looks like it's relatively unexpected. Maybe there is, you know, a boost or a blessing that comes in. Maybe somebody highlights to you a way that you can make extra money really easily, which is great. And it could have something to do with conversation, communication. This could be something, you know, really simple, or it could be something really elaborate. For a select few of you, it looks like there's either some teaching or mentoring work in this as well, which is really nice. For your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your legs, your thighs, your buttocks, and your lower back. Now, if you've been having money worries and troubles, remember that challenges and issues with the lower back, you usually talk about worries about finances and money. So getting to the root of those things, or the issues or the challenges that are creating them, could be vital for you this week, especially on that physical level. Now, obviously, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, and this reading is by no means a substitute for, you know, real medical advice or professionals. For your home and environment, you've got some news coming in this week. Now, you might be called upon for your opinion and you're an Aries, right? So you're inclined to just say it how it is. This week, you might need to use a bit more diplomacy or tact. For your love and relations, you have the Page of Wands. This is lovely. All right, so for some of you, you could be getting some news about somebody that you dated in the past. You could be reconnecting with somebody through friends. You could be connecting with somebody through friends. I kind of see this, for those of you that are single specifically, I see this as new love coming in, but it might have an old slant to it. So maybe somebody that you were previously connected to, or maybe that person, you know, like we've always got that one like everybody has at least one anyway. One person that, you know, when you were single, they weren't, and when they were single, you weren't. And like you kind of do that whole cosmic dance thing. This week, it looks like there's a potential for you guys to actually get it together. It is very fresh. It is very new. It's just that spark. So this is just that moment where you can see, is there the potential? For those of you that are partnered or in relationships already, this could be a new beginning, providing you're willing to do that hard work, providing maybe you're willing to have that challenging conversation. And it doesn't have to be that you sit there and you bang your heads together and, you know, whinge and whine about, oh, ain't it awful. This could literally be go out and have some fun. And through that, you might end up having a conversation that really helps you elevate the relationship, that really helps you understand or at least recommit to something that you feel like actually is supposed to be a part of your life. So let's have a look at your eclipse message from the Human Design Oracle cards. And you have this week. The Gate, 27 and caring. And I think that's really apt with everything that's come up. It's quite obvious this week, my dear Aries people, Sun, Moon or Ascendant, that you care for someone or something. Let that be the light in the lantern that the Hermit is carrying. Let that be the thing that guides you out of the self-imposed darkness. Let that be the thing. Right, look, because he's got his lantern, right? Let the energy of care and love, and funnily enough, you see the robin on the card there. Something that myself and another Aquarius friend of mine have observed. Every time we see a robin, like an actual robin out there, we get a big message in our lives. So take this eclipse to be a moment that is really asking you to get honest about what you care about and what really deserves and requires your attention. And let that love and that care be the thing that guides you forward so that you can have the best life that you can possibly have. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.